Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the podcast. And in this episode, it's going to be about dating in Toronto. Is it a jungle or just a joke? My name's Rachel, and I'll be your guys' host. And today I have my sister, Nancy.
Hey.
Okay, so dating in Toronto. Let's just say it's a jungle out there. And today we're diving in headfirst with someone who knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Thanks.
Hey, Nance. So how's it going?
It could be better, but it's okay.
Okay. Sure. She really does know, though, guys. Like, we're going through it right now. So, as you know, Nance, we're actually both back on the dating apps. Nancy is on Bumble and Hinge,
Yeah.
and I decided to go back onto Hinge, unfortunately. And to be honest, I don't know what the hell is out there and what's happening.
Yes, I gotta say the hustle is very real.
Okay, so let's set the scene. For people who don't know, dating in Toronto is like a weird mix of like soft boys, crypto boys, and men who are allergic to commitment.
And let's not forget about the gym boys. As you know, I love my gym, but these boys are super obsessed with either each other or their protein shakes.
Facts, honestly. So, Nance, what's been like your biggest WTF moment on a date?
Well, it wasn't even a Hinge or a Bumble date. It was actually, I was set up with someone. And like the setup came from a genuine place. Like we were both teachers, we were both in our 30s. He was single, I was single. So I guess like that's it. Those are the connections. But anyway, so I go on this date with this guy and he's like super into his keto diet now. Now, he's been doing his keto diet for only 8 months. Like, he's brand new to the whole diet industry and stuff like that. As someone who's done, like, I feel like I've done every fad diet out there.
Yeah.
Like, I know keto, like the longevity of it just isn't a life sustainable thing. Anyways, we're there and I'm like, oh, that's so good. You're doing your keto diet now. He's like, yeah, well, can't you tell? Because like my jaw is like super chiseled now. That was like such a weird ick. And it happened
Ew.
within like the first like 20 minutes of the date. And I was like, oh my God. Then the rest of the date, he was just basically talking about his diet and like how amazing his body is now and how
Stop.
ripped he is. Yeah, it was really
That's cringe.
uncomfortable. And like, I didn't know how to like not compliment him because I didn't want to come off rude.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we never went on a second date after that.
But that's actually crazy that like these are the conversations these guys are coming up with, and it's like
All about them.
all about them. And
He didn't ask
especially
me any
like,
questions about myself.
yeah, it just feels like why are we even getting the time to come out with you guys if like all we're gonna do is talk about you? It's a date.
And
It's
your
supposed to go
chiseled
two
jaw.
ways.
Yeah, he didn't say anything about my jaw being chiseled, and I was working so hard on it.
Okay, so based on that date and just like being out there with this guy or whatever, you just automatically knew, I'm guessing this guy is just not for me. Like what was in your head? Like
Yeah, so usually, and I feel like as a woman, and many women may agree with me, or maybe not, because some women like to kind of try a second or a third date to see. Like he could have been nervous too, but I could kind of get the vibe off the first date. And like
mhm.
that's one of my cues as to like if I see this actually going into a second date or a third date or not. And like it's also like a life lesson to me too, because I think the more people you date, which is why I'm back on Hinge and Bumble. And like if people want to say like unfortunately, like whatever, it is what it is. This is
Mhm.
society today.
Yeah.
This is a way to meet people. And like the more people you date, the more you start fine tuning kind of like what you actually do like and like the conversations you do like. And you can have really great first conversations um on the first date and stuff like that.
Yes, I agree.
And like you can learn so much about people too. So
Not only people, but even yourself. You really learn what you like in a
yes.
person, but also what you don't like in a person. And I feel like you really realize when it's time to get up and to like leave.
Yes.
I'm just gonna bring you guys into a story that I have
Yeah.
where I went on a date with a guy from Hinge, and
Okay.
like on my profile it says must love dogs. Like, if you know me, I love my animals.
Oh my
It's my
God.
dogs. Like, my dogs are my life.
Here
This
we go.
guy comes on the date and tells me, I have to tell you something. I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, what's up? This guy goes and says, I don't like dogs. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, just like, is there
And
a reason? Like, why do you feel this way? Oh, well, I got attacked. Well, actually, my brother got attacked and he like almost got his whole arm ripped off. And like, we were kids and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, like, what did you guys do to the dog to
oh my
like
God, it's
get
so
him to attack
dramatic.
you?
I think, yeah.
And because honestly, for me, I'd never blame the dog. I always blame the people and or the owners, whoever it is that are around this dog
And training the dog,
and training the dog.
it's bad training.
So these kids, so he's telling me, oh, well, we were kids, we were playing with a ball and we kept teasing the dog, but it was a pit bull. And I was like,
I hate when they say that, like, but it was a pit bull. I'm sorry. I've known lots of pit bulls, and pit bulls are amazing dogs.
it's a great breed. And as long as you know how to
and a
train
great
them.
breed for children, actually.
Exactly. And like you see these things and right there I'm like, this guy's nonsense. It's already like a stereotype. And I'm like, honestly, I was just like, I don't really see this going any further on the date in the middle of dinner.
Oh my God.
And he says to me,
That's actually good,
what do you
though.
mean? Like, what do you mean? You're not going to date me because I don't like dogs? I'm like, well, there's no interest here. I even said, I'm like, I want to have a dog in my future. I have dogs of my own. I'm always with my dogs. There's no way that like I wouldn't have my dogs. Like my dog's literally right beside me right now.
Yeah.
And like to not have a dog, like that makes no sense to me. I'm like, so if I were to bring a dog home and it like be our like child before our children are even born or whatever, wouldn't you help me take care of it? He said no.
Oh my God. Okay, that's like a huge red flag. That's not the person for you then.
Huge red flag. And I don't even know why you would even go out with someone who has on their profile, I had it on my profile,
Yeah, you do.
must love dogs.
Literally. And like it's totally cool like if he matched with someone who also doesn't love dogs, but like if it's on your profile, like you don't go and say like, "Oh, I actually don't like dogs. I was attacked by one."
Well,
okay,
yeah.
then
But
like
my friend has a dog, so like I like looking at them. Like I'll play with it. Like that's
Yeah.
not the same thing.
as having one.
That's
Yeah.
not the same thing. And I like that's a huge red flag to me. If you don't
For
like
you, yeah.
animals or like pets, like dogs in general too,
Yeah.
huge red flag. Like
Whereas to me, it's not a red flag to me, but it's like, if a guy said to me like, oh, I'm not really crazy about animals, I'd be like, well, I have a very busy lifestyle. I don't know if I could get an animal with you anyways. So for me, like, but you're someone that dogs are like, even with a busy lifestyle, you're like, no, dogs are a must have in your home. Whereas I'm like, I'll take it, I'll leave it. If anything, I'll go visit Rachel with her dog.
no, exactly. So honestly, I just feel like guys, if you really see like you see the red flag right away, stop it. Stop the date, who cares? And just be like, yo, I'm done. And just get out. Like walk away.
or maybe don't be so dramatic, but like finish the date and just be like, thank you so much. I had a great time. And you just kind of go your way, they go their way. I went on a date like not too long ago from Hinge, and he was a nice guy, but we just had different viewpoints of things and stuff like that. So at the end of the date, I just thanked him. And then I went on my way and he went on his way. And like that was it. And like
well, of course, like you're gonna keep it classy. You're gonna say what
Yeah.
you gotta say. I did keep it classy at the end. I just said I don't think it's gonna work out.
But I remember when you came home, you're like, I just got into a fight.
I had to speak my mind and I had to tell the truth. I don't ever think it's a dog's fault, and I will stand up for my dogs forever.
Yeah.
So honestly, if you have something that you really believe in and something that you really want to stand for, definitely like stick with it and don't change your mindset for someone.
Yeah. There's everything that we do love about ourselves or things that we love that you shouldn't change yourself for someone just because they're hot or something.
Exactly. If it's your person, this person will grow with you. You guys will become in alignment. You guys will just know you guys are the one for each other. But as soon as you see that red flag, do what you got to do, get out, and don't stand for any like BS.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my advice. Okay, guys, real talk. Let's go into it. The ghosting, the games, and the green flags. Let's talk about ghosting first. Why is it such a normalized thing now? Like, just say you're not interested, it's free.
I know, and it's so rude in my opinion to just ghost someone for no reason. Like it doesn't take anything like in a text message, like, hey, I'm just not really feeling this. I really liked meeting you or connecting with you, but this just isn't working for me. Done. Simple as that. Not that like you just disappear and then months later sometimes message me, hey stranger, with like those googly eyes, like, please stay away from me. And I'm like, seriously, like, okay, I have to tell you this experience because there was this guy from Bumble and we were messaging and like you called it. You said he's kind of love bombing you. And I was like, yeah, but like, I don't know. So anyways, we had a date set up and we were supposed to meet all the way up. So we set the date up on the Wednesday and it was for the Friday. So Wednesday, Thursday, he was messaging. So the Friday came and I was like, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you. He said he had to go to church. So
Love those church boys.
yeah. So anyways, he went to church and he was like, I'll message you after church. No message. Just disappeared.
Yep.
So I was like, hey, are we still on for today? Nothing. And then I could see he had his red receipts on.
Oh, that's even better.
Oh my God, I know. So I was like, I can see that you read my message.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, then he didn't respond back. And then I was just like, all right, then have a good life. And he hasn't responded. He hasn't come back yet. But the day after, because I'm an evil person, I guess, I was like, honestly, he must be dead. Like, that's the only explanation. He must have actually died. The day after I went to the gym and I'm watching the news and they're like, Milton man dead after accident. I was like, oh my God, is that him? Like,
oh my
I don't know
God.
if it was him, but like, he read my
He's
messages.
from Milton.
He's from Milton, yeah. And I was like, is that him?
It's
I was
bad
like,
to laugh, but honestly, rest in peace. But yeah, no, these guys and their ghosting, like, I don't know what the heck's happening.
and he's gonna pop back up
He
because
will.
this funny story about this guy. We were actually, so like a few years ago when I went on Bumble and I hated it, we actually matched then on Bumble and we were chatting only on Bumble. And then this
Wait,
time,
how many years ago was that?
I would say like 2 years ago.
And he's still on
He's
there.
still on
He's
it.
still
But
on it.
in all fairness, I'm back on it too. So maybe he was on off. I'd have no idea. Anyways, but this time when I went back on Bumble and we rematched each other, I was like, oh, do you remember me again? And he's like, of course I remember you. And I was like, do you know? But like this time, the conversation
Lies.
seemed way more genuine. Like, I have to be honest, it felt more genuine. And we even exchanged phone numbers this time. I really thought he was going to like take me on a date, but
Okay, but
I
did
guess not.
he give you his phone number or did you give yours?
He gave me his.
So I'm finding that now a lot of guys are just throwing their numbers at these girls to see who they can catch.
I know.
And it's happening a lot.
Well, there was another guy I was talking to too, and this one was from Hinge. He's like, here, take my number because I barely go on here, so we can't really talk much. I was like, okay. So I took his number. I was like, hey, it's Nancy. And then 4 hours later, okay, maybe even 5 hours, like I messaged him at 11. I didn't get a response back till like, yeah, like 4 o'clock something, 4 something. Anyways, hey, so great. See, isn't this much better?
That's
I was
insane.
like, what? And then I responded to him an hour after he messaged me. And because I think as a person, like everyone has their phone attached to them. I'm sorry. 2 hours is a time limit, unless you're super busy. Like at work, I totally get it. Like at work, I barely have time to look at my phone. Sometimes even on my break, I don't even want to look at my phone. I just want to like sit and do nothing. Right. So I get it. But like 5 hours later, like, and it was on a Saturday. Like,
but let's just also, it's the beginning of like the relationship or like whatever you're trying to like form with a person. So if you're interested in that person, you're contacting that person. You're looking at your phone. Did that person message me?
Yeah.
So that you can reply in a timely manner.
So it was basically, I sent him a message. I was like, hey, how's your weekend going so far? Because it was Saturday. No response.
Yeah.
So this is my bitchy side that comes out though. I was like, wow, this is so much better.
But that's the thing,
But
guys.
like, I shouldn't have to call these guys out. Like, it's not my job to call them out. Like, it's their problem. It's not me.
But I think at this like day and age, it's like time that these guys understand like they're really not all that. And
And it's rude.
it's rude. It's so rude. And it's so like, I don't understand why they're on this pedestal acting like they're all like the princesses out here. And they want us to be like these in our masculine energy,
Chasing them.
chasing them. Like,
Yeah.
what are we? Like, no, this isn't this isn't going to work. And I think if you're not messaging me, I'm definitely not messaging you. I have nothing to owe you. You have nothing to owe me, honestly, either. But if you really wanted to, and I really firmly believe this, if he wanted to,
He
he will.
Yep.
So, back in like December, I would say was talking to a guy from Hinge actually,
Okay.
and best best conversations. Like we were really hitting it off. We ended up staying on a phone call for 3 hours. Let me tell you guys how this phone call started. Probably at 11 p.m. at night,
I'm already asleep.
and it ended at like 2, 3 a.m. almost.
Oh my God. I'm like
This
on my
guy
20th drink.
had work at 5 a.m.
That's crazy.
But like, it wasn't even like I was the one who was keeping the conversation going. He was just like talking, talking, talking. I was talking, like it was just flowing. I'm like, oh my
Okay.
gosh, this is great. Like, we're having great conversations. Like, this is nice. So that happened.
Any man who loves me will know not to call me after 10. Go on.
The next day happens. This guy FaceTimes me. We're having a FaceTime call, probably for like an hour or two. And I'm
Is
like,
this in the
okay.
same night?
This is, yeah, like the next day, I
Oh,
guess
the
you
next
would
day.
say. Like, so literally 3 a.m., our phone call ended. And that exact same day, we had a conversation that night again at like 10 p.m. 10
Okay.
p.m., guys. And it ended at like 12. I
Okay.
kept it short. I told him, I'm like, I'm not doing this like every night.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was going great. We were texting every day, very consistent. He would be sending me pictures. He would send me good morning texts, like everything. I'm like, this guy's love bombing me. But I was stupid and I didn't learn from that.
Yeah.
And I kept going with it. But also, I don't feel like I was ever love bombed until this guy. And then I figured
Yeah.
out what love bombing is.
Yeah.
And this guy taught me a lot about what men are like and a lot about myself. And it was scary. But in the sense that
But it's also eye-opening too.
okay, so he basically planned the date for us. It was all set up. We were talking every day. That day came. It was actually on Boxing Day, and I took the train downtown and met up with him. And the date went great. Like,
Yeah.
we were laughing, talking. It was good. Like, he was touching my leg. I'm like, this guy's into me. I'm into him.
But like in a nice way, touching your leg, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like it was all good. Everything was like consent and everything. It was great. That night, like everything went really well, kissing, all the stuff, all the fun stuff. I get home. He got me an Uber home.
He paid for your
He
Uber to
paid
go
for my
home.
Uber to go
Oh,
home.
that's so sweet of
And I was
him.
like, oh my God, this guy's great. Let me know when you get home, all this stuff. I'm like, okay, perfect. Next day, probably lingered with the good morning text. He didn't text right away in the morning. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah, no problem. Like, it's normal. We're having great conversations still. I said, okay, like maybe we'll have a phone call. Now this guy's starting to act weird. And it was like I was getting like vibes that like he wasn't interested anymore. So I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna put myself out there. I'm gonna see, like, do you want to meet up again? He asked me actually to meet up again, and I couldn't do that day. So I was like, can we rain check for this day? Oh, I can't do that day either. So I was like, okay. So then things, I guess, kind of just like fell off or whatever. He was texting me like that day that we were supposed to meet, and I like responded.
Yeah.
And then I realized he's not responding back. I see like the bubbles come up, but no text came through. So I decided to call him to make it easier. Maybe I was like, oh, maybe like we can just talk on the phone or whatever. This guy ghosted me.
Oh.
I was actually really hurt. I actually really liked him. 2 weeks later, He came back. I sent a text saying, basically, do you really think I'm going to be that type of girl? Something just flipped a switch in me, and I was like, I
Good for
am
you.
not this girl. I am not going to take you back. I am not going to go through it. This guy, like, guys, if I read you the text, you guys are going to be shocked. Like, it was insane. So basically, after we stopped talking, 2 weeks later, he says, hey, good morning. And this guy is 34 years old and I'm 26. So, like, there's a big gap. I thought this guy was going to be more mature about things, especially with the things he was telling me about how he's mature. He's a man. He wants a wife. He wants to bring the next girl home to his mom and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I go to him, hold up. Am I supposed to act like you didn't ghost me at the grown age you are? Nah, no, thank you. You made me feel like we had something really special, and then me realizing it was not that special. You're not my type. Move along. This guy responds in the most narcissistic way
Oh
I've
my God.
ever heard. He says to me, you don't have to act in any such way at all, actually. And we went out somewhere, and let me tell you guys, this guy didn't even speak proper grammar. So now I'm reading this text, and I just realized it's not even proper.
Yeah.
But he's like, we went out to eat and get to know each other. Maybe I was going through something at the time. I haven't got back to you. Maybe something happened to me that I just needed time to myself. With you asking first, is something wrong? What happened to you? I haven't heard from you. And you ain't my type either with that immediate response. That
Wait, wait,
was,
wait. So he said to you basically that he wanted you to be like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Is everything fine?"
yep.
Meanwhile, it was 2 weeks after. Like
But
I would have responded with, "Yeah, I was ready to throw you a funeral. I actually went to Costco and bought a casket."
but honestly, what are these men expecting us to
Two
do?
weeks later, and you said you saw the little bubbles, like he was about to respond and then didn't respond.
Exactly, yeah. So
Like,
this is
come
what I
on.
actually replied back saying to
Okay.
him. Turning it around to make it seem like I'm the bad one. If you're going through it, then fine. You say, hey, just not in the mood to talk right now, and leave it. But instead, you fully ghosted me. And I did think about you maybe going through something. But I texted you back, then called, and you sent me to voicemail. So I felt like a bother and left you alone. So instead of you turning it around and making it seem like I'm responding in such a way, then maybe you should learn to communicate. I'm getting defensive because I did something with you that I don't do with anyone. And I was actually a little hurt. But with the response that you just gave, I know I got myself and I'm good now.
Yeah. You know what? Like, it's so, like, I'm just going back to saying it. Like, it's so rude. Like, a green flag for me is communication and just
Exactly.
consistency. And like, these guys just don't understand that if you are going through something, I'm not saying you're not going through something, but if you are going through something, what does it take to send a quick message? Hey, you know what? I really enjoyed our date. I really felt a vibe and a connection with you, but just right now is not a good time.
No, exactly.
And
And
there you
then
go. Done.
coming back 2 weeks later, let me tell you how this guy actually ended up coming back 2 months later and saying, hey, how's it going? And then
Yeah.
wants to talk to me about his situation. Like, am I supposed to
Did you
just
end up talking
stop
to him
and
about the
drop?
situation?
No, because he ended up inviting me to his place to go talk about his situation. Like, we
Yeah, no,
don't know
thank
what
you.
that means.
Yeah.
So, like, the fact that these guys are literally doing the bare minimum and we're out here like, oh, okay, like, yep, you're not feeling well. Sure, let me come out there and help you. Like, I have my life too. I'm not going to drop everything I'm doing because you came back 2 months later.
So basically, what I think we could get from this is like, if you're being ghosted, I read this book. It's actually called The Shift, and it's really been helping me change my mindset
Mm-hmm.
by Tinks. So I definitely think everyone should read this book, especially if you're in your 30s and you're still going through it. It's about becoming the main character of your own life. Anyways, she says, like, if it ends, basically it ends. You throw them a funeral and That's it. You've been ghosted.
Agreed.
He is dead.
Hmm.
So we're not going to play zombies over here. We don't want you coming back from the dead. It's done. So I'll throw you a little funeral and all the best to you in your dead life.
Exactly. And honestly, like, if he's not going to do it, there is someone that will.
Yeah.
There is a man out there for you. You will be just fine without that person. So,
And
like,
chances
move
of
on.
you, like, because I know for myself, so this is me speaking personally, like that fear of like, oh my God, am I going to be alone forever? And like, chances are, no, you will probably most likely end up with someone than be alone forever because there's always someone for you. So you just have to just keep believing that there is something better out there for you and don't tolerate it.
And in the meantime, like, honestly, just date yourself, have fun with yourself, and just do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play a little quick game. Um,
All right.
would you rather dating edition?
Okay.
Go on a first date where he brings his mom,
Oh my God.
or go on a date where he asks you to split a $6 smoothie.
Oh my God. Um, I would definitely go with the mom because moms love me.
Okay, yeah, and $6.
$6 smoothie. I I'm gonna stand firm on this. I am not ever going to pay on a first. I don't care.
If you're being invited on a
If
date,
you're being invited, he's paying. If I'm
yeah,
inviting you,
you're
I
not
will
paying.
pay. But if you're inviting me on a date, I will not ever pay.
Yeah, honestly, like it's actually like sad. $6, but okay.
And people could agree with me or disagree with me. That's my personal opinion.
Okay, guys, let's move into it. Would you rather date someone who claps when the plane lands or takes mirror selfies at the gym with the caption like, no pain, no gain?
Oh my God, no, I cannot take these gym people that are there filming their workouts, taking their selfies. No, thank you. Also, I was on a plane with a lot of turbulence. You were with me on that plane. And when that plane fucking landed, we were both clapping because we were just so grateful to be back on the ground.
Honestly, with
So,
all these plane crashes, I'm clapping with you, man.
yeah,
Like,
like thank God for the safety. Thank you, Mr. Pilot. Do you want to date me?
all right, last one. Would you rather date someone who sends bitmojis constantly
Mm.
or ends every text with LOL?
Um, ugh. Both are like so icky, but I would probably do the Bitmoji because the LOL, like if everything he's saying, like, hey, just got home, LOL. Gonna go head to the gym, LOL. Like, what?
But what are these bitmojis too? Like like if he has a bitmoji,
I know.
it's kind of like an ick. I
I
feel like
know.
it's like I don't know what's
And that's coming from
happening.
me. I have a Bitmoji, but
I
if
like my
me
bitmoji.
too, but like I know I don't want him having a Bitmoji. Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can actually go with it. And the LOL at the end of every text,
I
I
know.
think I would ghost him.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's one piece of advice you would give to someone who's feeling totally over it when it comes to dating?
So honestly, like I feel like I can really relate with girls that are going through it as you say because being 34 now and like you're seeing your friends are all getting married and they're all
Hmm.
finding their person and then they're all having their kids now and like you're so happy for them because like they've been through it too as your girlfriends. You saw them go on those dating apps. You saw them date all these people. So they've been through it as well. But like you do feel that sense of like, oh my God, like what about me? When's my time going to come? Where I'm going to find a person that I actually not just want to spend like a few dates with, like I actually want to spend my life with. Like that's a huge thing, right?
Hmm.
And so like all I can really say is like you just have to really just believe in yourself and just believe that like you're going to find your person and have hope and like see yourself for your own worth and like if someone does ghost you or someone does like just like doesn't value you, it's not a reflection of you and like how you should treat yourself. Like you should always say like no, I am worth more than this. I deserve more than this and I'm going to find more than this.
Hmm.
And then you just have to figure out a way to get out of it. Sometimes that can happen after one date. Sometimes that can happen after a few months. Sometimes you can be stuck in that like in between state, like for quite some time. And like, but you just have to keep telling yourself and keep working on yourself like, no, I deserve better, I deserve better. So even if you are hung up on someone and you're like, oh my god, like am I ever going to get over this person, you have to keep saying I deserve better. And like
Yeah.
eventually I think we have to figure out how to rewire our brains to go and find better. So that's why I'm back on the apps. Yes, it is a little bit draining and difficult, but like I'm really using the app now to filter out the ones that don't want what I want. Like there's certain things I want in my life. And if it makes me come off as desperate or needy, as whatever people want to say, whatever, then I'll be desperate or needy. But the right person will be like, I appreciate you wanting these things and I want these things too. And let's do it together. One of my girlfriends actually gave me really good advice. And she said, Nancy, dating when you're older, like it's just like finding people and it's difficult, but it's like everyone comes with a bit of baggage. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like getting together and saying to each other, like, hey, what baggage do you have? This is the baggage I have. Let's slowly start unpacking this baggage together and see where it takes us. And I think that was something that really resonated with me because, like, as I'm getting older and I am like still in the dating world and I'm meeting different people, I'm learning so much more about myself and about what I want.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I'm,
Because you're worth it. You got to know
yeah,
your worth. And I think a lot of girls nowadays are scared to be alone.
yeah.
And
And it's real. It's a real fear. I have
it
it too.
is. And honestly, don't be afraid because your person's out there. Your person's going to come, and do not hang on to that hook. That, like, think about it like this. He has you on a hook. He's a fisherman and you're hooked onto the hook, and he's just going to pick you up and release you, pick
Like
you
reel
up
you
and
in, throw you
release
out.
you.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you have to decide, like, okay, well, I'm not going to keep biting on this hook. I know this hook's not good for me. Swim back in the ocean. When they say that there are plenty of fish in the sea, swim back in that ocean and you will freaking find whatever you need to find. It could be a whale, it could be a dolphin, it could be any beautiful creature because you're worth so much more and you don't need to be hanging on to that hook anymore. All right, y'all. Before we wrap up, let's just have a life's a joke moment of the week. So, this week, my life's a joke moment is I matched with a guy on Hinge and we had great conversations. Everything was going really nice. We were planning a date and then he told me he was best friends with his all his exes still. So not just one, all. Nance, how about you?
Um, my life's a joke. Oh, I matched up with this guy on Hinge too, and like we went on a date and stuff like that. And like he I'm not a political person. I have to be honest. Like, I'll like, I have an opinion. It's not a big opinion, but I don't like talking about politics. Anyways, this guy, I didn't even notice this from his Hinge account. Super political and like basically like was just talking about politics and stuff like that and like said something to me along the lines like, well, Nancy, let me tell you this. If I were to go out and get a giant rubber ducky, when you said like, hey, we can't really afford a big rubber ducky right now, and I come to the house with this giant rubber ducky on the lawn, meanwhile we have bills to pay, kids to feed, stuff like that, what response do you think you would have? I was like,
Oh
uh.
god.
I was like, and I'm not a serious person. So I'm like
You're
thinking like,
not.
where, what? So I'm like, well, I would probably just ask you like, hey, does this giant rubber ducky have a door? Because we're probably going to lose our house now and the kids need a place to sleep tonight.
Don't kill me. Oh my
Like
god.
his response was like, what the fuck? And I started laughing because I was like, I really don't want to be political.
Well,
Like,
like, why are we
it's a
taking life
first
so
date too,
seriously?
right?
Yeah, like, what is happening?
So yeah,
But yeah, I think we are truly living in like a sitcom right now. So yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know. Yeah. A sitcom makes life seem so much funner.
Honestly,
Sometimes I feel like I'm living in a horror movie.
who knows? We might actually be one. But that's it for this week, guys. If you love this convo, hit follow, leave a review, and share it with a friend who needs to laugh or a dating debrief. See you guys next week. And remember, laugh it off, babe. Life's a joke.
Bye.
For me, work, work for me, work the body for me, what,